Contested three that will send him to the line. Both teams look evenly matched at the moment in terms of size and probably speed. Amos. This is the second. Teammates on the bench are encouraging him. Let's see if he makes his third. He does. Got Branson inbounding the ball to Teng Yu. Taking his time getting across half court. It out to Branson, looking for an inside presence, but doesn't find any. So kicks it out to number 30, Jing Chen, who hits the three, which one would typically expect if you're wearing number 30. From Eldridge is good, baseline management. And he does a little shush sign on his way back. I don't know if that's quite called for yet. A bit early in the game for that. So Teng Yu draws a foul and makes his first visit to the free throw line. We have our first substitution from SUSS as Aloysius Lee checks in for Spencer Yap. Teng Yu, reliable from that distance, even when it's not a jump shot. Makes them both. Chen Xian falls for play number 2. Eldridge thought about the shot. Throws a foul. And Coach Richard New from SI Sim calling out to his players, telling them don't jump, don't jump. Chen Xian loses the ball en route to the basket, kicks it out for a 3, does not go in. So there isn't quite a sense of urgency at the moment, as being about halfway through the first quarter. Branson gives it back to Teng Yu, hangs around for a screen. Teng Yu doesn't manage to get the shot off. Throws a foul, but it's not a shooting foul. So, number 7, Pei Tian Yang checks in for Branson's. And on the other side, we have Brandon Scott Toe in for SUSS. Stuck in the corner right there, Thomas. Not finding any options. Fast break opportunity. Ooh. Doesn't manage to corral the ball back in before the baseline. And Aloysius Lee rather candid about that as he runs back. Teng Yu, full speed to the basket. Doesn't quite get the finish. Eldridge looking for opportunities. Not really enough numbers for a break, but he decides to go for it anyway. 3 white jerseys waiting for him under the basket. So that attempt not lead to any results. Let's see what they can come up with. Tian Yang gives it to Nigel, who was fairly effective with getting to the basket early in the game. This time not quite, loses his balance and falls in the paint. But he does earn an opportunity at the charity stripe to get 2 points. Let's see if he does. First one is short. Second one is still short, doesn't make the adjustment, but it's okay. His teammate gets the rebound. Gives it back to Wong Teng Yu, who goes for a long 3. Doesn't go. Chen Xian. 2. Number 9. Amison goes strong to the basket. Yeah, I think I know who's missing as well. It's Prem from SIM, so We're missing Prem and Marvin Raj today. But SIM seems to be coping well with the elbow shot going in. Let's see what SUSS have. Ball goes to the corner and a little bit of a miscommunication there. I think it was meant to go to Eldridge, but he decided to dodge instead. Ting Chun comes out, gets a breather for SIM. And under basket for Amos Sin. It's pretty evenly matched still. A few shouts from the SUSS coach. It was a good block, but he wasn't able to stop SIM from getting that second chance basket. And so that block kind of led nowhere. Corner three, let's see. That was Brandon Scott with the three-point attempt. That has been tapped out. And the refs rule it SUSS ball. As Thomas O from SIM comes out for a bit of a break. The SUSS are pretty pleased with keeping possession. 14 seconds on the shot clock. It's a cutter down the middle, but doesn't get the ball. Eldridge, little jab step, puts up the shot. It's not good. Kian Yang gives it back to Nigel. Looking for space. We saw Kian Yang get under the basket, but there wasn't enough space to actually make the pass. So let's see, Aloysius to Eldridge. Eldridge back to Aloysius. It's pretty handsy defense there. But, well, the refs don't call it. And Amos didn't let it get to him. Went straight to the basket. Getting 2 points for SUSS. Tang Yu looking for space, doesn't find it. Not exactly an ideal shot there. Branson screening for Nigel, who puts up a three. I think there's a foul off the ball. Chen Xian checks back in for SUSS as Brandon Scott heads back to the bench. Aloysius Lee doing a bit of playmaking this time. Calling out the plays. Sets himself up for an open three, but misses. 4 white jerseys under the basket for the rebound. Tang Yu. A little bit hesitant with what he wanted to do and lost the handle. Coach Wei Liang from SUSS asking the officials for some information, and we have timeout. And on the other court, we have a classification game between SMU and SUTD. That game, it looks like quite a large score gap. From where I'm standing anyways, not a great view. But let's return to our game, which has been close. I think probably a 2 or 3 point gap at the most so far. Coach giving rather animated instructions to Eldridge. Yu fumbles the ball. Doesn't seem as focused as he was in the semifinals. I think they're a little bit more relaxed with today's game. Well, just as I said, he wasn't focused. He made up for it, getting a steal and going all the way to the basket. Acrobatic finish. 2 points on the board. Shen back up to Aloysius. Tries to drop it off to the big man, but is tapped out by Nigel, who is... Ooh, that three-point shot nearly went in. It was a very dramatic release and fall on the ground. Maybe a bit of a foul bait, but the refs didn't call it. So, yeah, low post play today has not been the same without Raj. Shen finds the gap and goes straight to the basket. Nigel pulls up for a three. That was pretty well contested. Acrobatic save from Shen behind the back pass to his teammate Aloysius. And he takes over the playmaking piece for a bit. Eldridge looking for options. Shen just steps outside the three-point line to get a shot off. Not going. Yu very far away from the action, looking for options, but it's not a lot of off-ball movement. So he pulls up for signature mid-range shot. Is very effective, and I think not enough people do it. Eldridge tries a bit of a step back three, but doesn't get enough separation. Passes it off for a forced shot taken by Amos as first quarter draws to an end. Still a 1 point game. SUSS are first out of the bubble already. SIM have fresh faces in. John Kwok setting up on the low block, and Durbin with his bright pink shoes. Nigel puts up a three. Not quite. Aloysius. Shen finds baseline three for Eldridge. It's long. Nigel looking to start a fast break, but there are three SUSS players waiting for him. Doesn't matter, decides to go for it anyway. Gets the rebound back. Dervin. A little bit off too. Oh, maybe he hasn't quite warmed up yet. That was his first shot of the game, I believe. Amos also decides to join the party of missed three-pointers as Zhenxian finally breaks the spell. Dashes three, continued directing traffic. Nigel getting past traffic and gets 2 points on the board. There's a bit of a back and forth going. Not at sort of crazy intense speed though. Let's see. Aloysius didn't find any options. There's a big man move there. Kicks it out to Aloysius, who cashes a three. Maybe SUSS are going to go on a 3-point shooting streak now. Nigel kicks it out. Peng Yu. Answer ball? Not quite. Eldridge with the rebound. Now Jeremy Ting did leak out, but I don't think Eldridge was ready to make that pass. He's camped in the corner now, waiting to get a three, but they find Zhenxian under the basket. It's good position, but he kind of fumbled it. So have Dion Heng and Sim Hao in for SUSS right now. Nigel behind the back. Couldn't find a path to the basket. Double screen for Teng Yu. He's going to pull up at that. Was a little bit closer than he normally takes that shot, and hit the back of the rim. SUSS possession. Amos sets up at the high post. Able to make the turn and get an layup. I'm not sure that the score on the screen is updating correctly. If you were to believe it, we're still a 1-point game, but let's see. Aloysius thought he was going to be able to get the ball to Hui Hao, but not quite. Deflected on the way. Peng Yu being defended by bigger presence of Hui Hao. Decides to, as the shot clock runs out, he's giving it to Tomzo. Zhenxian, very long three. Not quite. Bunch of substitutions. But Ying Cheng and Branson back on the floor. So SIM kind of in a small ball setup right now. Teng Yu. It's a smooth cut to the basket, but he can't get over the fact that he's missed that layup and is standing outside the baseline. Looking for options. Goes out outside the 3-point line. Mid-range shot by John Kwok. Bounces out. Dion. Two. Amos with a little floater that's a little bit too hot. Nigel's got a good 2-on-1 opportunity now, but they fumble it. Oh, he manages to kind of tap it back to Nigel. And we have a timeout. halfway through the second quarter. And as both teams file into the court, let's see what adjustments are going to be made. Chen gets Amos to go. Amos for a 3-point shot outside. So he sometimes does sort of big man plays from the high post, but he'll also take a 3-point shot. Nigel trying to make a very precise pass into the paint, but doesn't quite get it. And we had, that was Dionys's almost falling out of bounds, manages to save the ball, but his teammate then lands on the line. Yu gets Nigel the ball. It's a nice turn there from Thomas O. Goes to the basket from the baseline. Amos. Well, it's a bit of a tough finish, but also a bit of a wild finish, and that goes nowhere. SIM. Bit of a tussle on the floor, and Jingchen not happy that he was not able to convert that and retain possession. Eldridge was looking to hand off to someone. Finds Monkant. Bit of a fumble there, and Jing Cheng finds Teng Yu. Pulls up from the baseline. Got a bit of a miscom there. He wasn't sure if he wanted to pass or if Jing Cheng wanted to go. So Dion with the turnaround jumper. Goes to Monkant. Eldridge goes to the corner, but Shunxian manages to find a path through the crowd. Gets an easy layup. Now have Chen Jiale for SIM. Screening for Teng Yu. Teng Yu takes the screen. Now that was a little slow, I guess. And interesting choice of finish, but not quite enough force there. Pick it out to Teng Yu. Jing Cheng trying to prove that he is worthy of the number 30 jersey. Good looking 3-point shot back there. Monkant. Eldridge. Bit of a 2-man game. Eldridge. Spin move. Turnaround jumper. Monkant did get the rebound at first, but it was deflected. On this side, same thing happens. So they're not being very careful with the ball. Eldridge, is he able to find space? He does not. Hands it over to Shenzhen. No turnaround jumper? No. Sees a cutting Dion. Unfortunately, Dion gets sandwiched by 2 SIM players. And Monkant and Shenzhen will take a break for SUSS, as will Branson and Teng Yu. So we have different playmaker this time. Chen Jiale for SIM goes straight to the basket, but is called for a travel on his way. He was a little bit hesitant. Coach Richard telling his players, play with more confidence. Eldridge. Gives it to Aloysius, who almost loses possession as the shot clock runs out. It's a good find under the basket, but you know, Huihao decided to kind of take another step instead of going straight up with force. Well, he managed to throw a foul and earn an opportunity at the free throw line. Huihao. First one is short. Coach Liang with his arms crossed, the sidelines, looking on. Can't see his facial expression, but you know, shoulders look tense. Nigel kicks it out to Jing Chen for the corner three. Doesn't happen. Dion was a little bit looking around the floor too intently and loses the handle. Coaches have seen enough and have asked for a timeout.
Then. Can what? Oh.
As with before, SUSS come out of the timeout a little bit quicker than SIM. Maybe Coach Richard Neo has more to say to his players. Continue getting the screen very far away from the basket. They kick it to Nigel in the corner for corner three. Nigel putting up lots of put back to Aloysius. Aloysius. A little bit too happy that he found such a big gap in the paint. Loses the handle. Peng Yu changes his mind about going to the basket. Yep. A little bit sloppy there. But Jeremy Ching gets the finish. Jing Chen. The shot looked good, it looked comfortable, just didn't go in. Back to Eldridge, kicks it out to the corner. Aloysius gives it back to Amos, decides to settle for a three instead of trying to get into the paint. Probably has kind of a bit of a size advantage here at the moment on the floor. As the second quarter runs out, and according to the score on the screen, let's see, it's a 3-point game in favor of SIM. Alright, that was a quick halftime break. The ref is already corralling the players back onto the court. And yes, I am. Have Branson, Tengyu, Nigel, Durbin, and I believe Thomas O on the floor, while SUSS have Spencer back in, Dion, Amos, Eldridge, and Shenxian. So, fast break opportunity for Shenxian, who converts. Back to 1 point difference. Nigel. He already had kind of committed to driving, but decided to kick it out, and it was a bit of a hesitant kick out, which led to a turnover. So, Spencer driving to the basket, getting through the fall. The SUSS coach and bench are a little bit more vocal at the moment, taking their players on. Tengyu saw his teammate, but sloppy pass. Shenxian gets a handoff, sends it to Eldridge for a 3. So looks like the threes aren't falling. Dry spell for the threes again. Fake pass from Tengyu. Nigel. An offensive board. Decides to try a 3. Didn't look like he quite had enough space to get the shot off comfortably. And so ball is in SUSS possession now, with Dion trying a 3 from 45 degrees, banks off a little bit too hard. Tengyu saw the space and thought about it. Again, a little bit hesitant, so ends up being fouled by Amos Sin. Testing the waters with a couple of jabs. It's a long 2 from Tengyu and it falls short. Spencer almost dribbled into a double team there. So I send it back. Amos looking for cutters. Not very convinced. Shenxian finds Spencer with a more convincing cut to the basket, and he finishes. Draws a foul, opportunity for 3-point play. Pinkerton comes in for Durbin. Spencer has been more effective with his shots in the paint than at the line. Peng Yu gathers for a 3-point shot. Percentage for these shots are not quite the same as his mid-range shots. Yuan asking his teammates to run play 1. Amos almost loses the ball there, but well, this time they do. This is the second deflection that Peng Yu has had in the game where he's managed to then take it all the way to the basket. So Amos running the play now. Sort of big man for the team. Drove baseline, tried to pass it into the paint, but Branson was there to thwart his plans. Not a good pass, that one. People weren't ready for it. I thought Dion had done quite a good job setting up on the low post, but they didn't get the ball to him. Peng Yu decides to hand over the playmaking duties to Nigel, who does a little hezzy, drives to the rim, but not a great angle. They find Branson. Peng Yu, not quite his day with those shots. I suspect it's a little bit, the distance is not quite his favorite distance, a little bit of a long two. Xuan, on the other hand, puts up a long 3. That swishes in. Jing Chen decides to answer that with a 3 of his own. They go back to the play that he was trying to run before. Eldridge doesn't see any options. Oh, does now. Xuan, but it's huge crowd, turns around and puts up a hook shot that doesn't go. Newton goes back to Nigel. Branson, a little bit of a butterfinger situation. It's a 1-on-2. Dion decides not to wait for numbers. Tries to finish. Gets the foul instead. Halfway through the quarter, Dion makes it first. Let's see if he can pull the lead further apart. He does not. Branson gives it back to Peng Yu. Double screen. Running out of options there. Gives it to Jing Chen. Shot clock's running out. Jing Chen forces a shot but manages to get it back. They buy themselves a bit more time. Peng Yu takes his time and puts up a 3. Third opportunity, Branson. Powers inside the paint, but not enough power in the finish. Dion gives Branson. The bench trying to get a bit of energy into their players. Eldridge misses the 3, but it's all good. Spencer gets the putback, although he wanted more. He's looking to the refs, asking for a foul. Cross-court pass, Peng Yu. He's taking his time for those shots, but they're just not falling. Yuan thought of speeding up and going all the way to the basket, but 3 people were waiting for him. Gets the offensive rebound that bounces out. Eldridge pulls up for a baseline jumper, is pushed, and goes to the free throw line. Some subs. Yin Yang and John Cork back for SIM. Thomas doesn't look happy with his performance. And actually, it looks like Raj is in the arena, but he's not suited up today. I wonder if that's injury related. We go to Nigel. Nigel a little bit rushed on behind the back move. Loses the handle. And it's a turnover for SIM. Almost a turnover for SUSS as well. But they kind of settle things down. Aloysius, Amos kind of has to get out of the way. Amos had a good start going to the basket, but a little bit out of control and a lot of traffic under the basket. So he's taking his time getting off the ground and it's kind of limping a little bit. Doesn't actually run back for defense that time, but he's ready for offense now as Spencer puts up a three. That puts the SUSS lead to 8. I think this is probably the largest lead we've had in this game. Acrobatic rebound there from Aloysius. He waves his teammates away, asks him to settle down. Gives it to Amos. Amos thinks about it. Bender was fairly aggressive, but then just does slip for a bit. Bunch of substitutions. As Amos takes a break. Yeah, his gait is a little bit uneven. He's kind of limping a little bit. For what that is about. And then both his knees are taped up. There is an offensive foul called on SIM. It's probably a moving screen, and it was called on Tae-Kian Young, number 7. Now, I don't know if that's the reason that he was subbed off, but he has been subbed off. And John is back on the floor. Playhouse back to Aloysius for a long three. That falls very snugly into the net. SUSS bench cheering for that. Continue. We'll give and go. Left hand layup does not fall for SIM. Series of quick passes, but they were not able to get the shot off. There's a loud buzzer going, but I don't think it's for this court. Nigel, left hand layup. There's a few moves from the crowd here. It's not a very big crowd for this game. Being the first game of the night, so let's see if the next game will bring more spectators into the arena. It's interesting that during the semifinals they had the whole NUS crew here, and they were all wearing the same t-shirts. They had like student counselors outside the floor distributing t-shirts. One of the supporters are going to come in numbers later for the matchup between NUS and NTU. Cheng Yu elevates for a left-hand layup. Aloysius asking to run horns, but the screeners don't exactly have great position, but it doesn't matter because Hui Hao manages to roll to the basket and get the 2 points. With 1 more quarter left to go, the score has been pulled apart. Largest lead by SUSS so far, it's 11 points. Okay, final quarter for the first game of the night. Eldridge gives it to Hui Hao. Oh, Hui Hao. Pinion. Eldridge. A little bit of a jab. Doesn't find the space. Let's see if Spencer does. He finds Nigel's hands in the paint with the deflection. Continue. Beats the ball to the low post. We go back to the low post, but he's just using that as a distribution point to send the ball across the court. Gives it to Eldridge. Low jab. Hui Hao was not quite ready for the pass. Coach Richard Mill, rather animated with instructions then. Let's see if the players execute what he wants them to do. Nigel finds a gap. Beautiful finish at the rim. But unable to make a dent in that gap. It's still 11 points. Eldridge. Jeremy was fighting hot in the paint just now, but not able to get in position for a good pass. Ting Yu checks out his options to see if he can send the ball ahead. Can't. They find Ding Cheng in the corner. That's what, his 4th 3 of the night? 4th, maybe 5th? So, got a pull-up jumper in the paint from Eldridge that time. It doesn't go. Ting Yu decides to use the screen, but loses handle. Manages to send the ball into his hands of teammates still. That's a really good cut by Nigel. Off the feed from Tomaso. Player under the basket, but was not in a good position. He manages to kick it out for a corner 3, which doesn't fall. It's SIM possession now. Washington goes back to John. Nigel. They close up on Nigel. Let's see. It's faked by his own teammate, but manages to finish. 6-point gap. Tenyu. Still not getting those 2-point shots to fall. A little bit flat. You can see he's disappointed with that. Shakes his head and flicks his arm. Practice the release. We have a number of substitutions. So Amos and Brandon are back on the court, along with Dion. Amos, hand off to Aloysius. Vincent manages to get under basket, but they didn't get the ball to him. Amos is stripped on the way up. Going for a layup. They got Aloysius. Pulls up for a baseline jumper. Doesn't fall. Nigel looking to push the pace, but couldn't find anyone. So Tenyu resets. Sees a lane. Speeds up. Nearly gets knocked out of balance, but he manages to gather himself. Lays it up with the left hand. It's now a 4-point gap. Let's see if SIM can make the comeback. Plenty of time. There was a little bit too strong from Brandon. Sails over the rim. Nigel kicks it out. Is it going to be another three? Not this time. Durbin is being sent to substitute Kington. Brandon, Chen-Xian, and then Amos. Nigel walling up against Aloysius. Doesn't give him many options. Chen-Xian, is it going to be another three? Nope. Amos taps the ball, but it falls into the hands of 4 pairs of hands belonging to white jerseys. They feed it to the low post. Kicks it out. Nope. Nigel unable to get the rebound. Aloysius gives it to Chen-Xian. Goes up by the middle as he and Tomaso both fall out of bounds. Chen-Xian gets himself ready at the free throw line. While substitutions are being made. Beyond standing back with safety. Hands on his knee. Is he tired? He doesn't look it. He's got hands on his knees. And Jingchen's back in the game after a very short break. Let's see if any more of his 3-pointers will help close the gap for SIM. Tenyu, no dribble, almost to the basket, but unable to control the ball enough to put up a layup. Managed to draw a foul call, not shooting foul. Sends it to the side, and Durbin thought that John was going to cut. Oh wait, or was that Thomas? Yeah, he thought that Thomas was going to cut, but didn't. But well, manages to get the basket anyway. Brandon, Chen-Xian, looking for cutters, looking for space. Finds Brandon, who is met by tough defense from Durbin. Leon loses ball. Bing Cheng sets it up for Tenyu. almost deflected by Spencer. And you thinks about it. Spin move. It's an air ball from inside the paint, and Tenyu still struggling to find a shooting touch today. I mean, he had a good start, making the first bucket very convincingly. Well, let's see if the free throws will help him get his shooting touch back. Ooh, really makes fun of them. That pass. Tion was almost not ready for it. That's Chen. Amos goes to the basket with force, puts it up with force, gets 2 points. Okay, that sounds like there's a little bit of a sense of urgency coming from the bench of SIM as they were lamenting the loss of their opportunity with the turnover. Well, 3 minutes left in the game. They're going to make a move. Try and turn the score around. Now is the time to do it. Tenyu looking to get the ball inside. Sends it to the low post. Jingcheng trying to get open. But they're on to him now. Serving. Nigel doesn't wait for the screen. Passes it. It's a good pass. Finishes just a little bit short. Chen pushing the pace. 3 people waiting for him under the basket, but Amos is able to power his way in. And the SUSS supporters and bench very happy with that play, as he gets to extend it. A 3-point play at the free throw line. It's good. John Kwok is back in for Thomas O. As with before, doesn't look particularly happy when he gets subbed off. Nigel, got a pretty good angle at the board, but it just doesn't fall. Thought about going to set up a double team with Nigel, but Nigel waves him off. Chen asking for a screen, but decides not to use it. Finds a gap on the right side, but ball is deflected. And we have a timeout called with 2 minutes left of the game. It's a 4-point gap. It is not insurmountable. However, SIM have taken a long time to make their move. They've closed the gap from 11 points, which I believe was the largest lead early in the game. But it's kind of been hovering around the 3 or 4 point gap for a good number of minutes now. The ref informs them it's time to get back in the court, get to business, close the deal. Baseline play. Spencer hands it over to Shenxian. Finds the gap. Little teardrop floater. It was short, but he gets back the rebound. Sets it up again. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Finds his teammate, but they don't finish. Continue. The outlet pass to Nigel. Still not falling. Those shots are still not falling. But it's a set shot, which is not his usual mid-range jumpers. Which I think he's probably more comfortable with that and has good rhythm for that. Set shots are not falling today. This USS bench counts down as Amos gets to the basket as the shot clock runs out and earns himself another and one. Coach William. Pacing at the side of the court, trying to get a message across to his players. Nigel Gervin swing the ball several times. Gervin with a very long three and switches in. It's a very lukewarm response though, surprisingly. I guess there aren't many SIM supporters here tonight. Although it's not that far away, it's just down the street, but maybe, I don't know, on a Friday night where all the SIM supporters. So, Amos plucks the rebound out of the air emphatically, but is unable to put the ball in the basket. It's another chance. He's been at the line quite a bit this quarter. So he's warmed up for that shot. Makes his first one. Lead back up to 7. Wait, where's it? My feed is lagging. Yeah, the lead is 7 points. With pretty much only 2 possessions left on the clock. Less than 2. SUSS trying to get to the basket. Nigel says, nope. I would rather foul. And that is his 4th foul. But given that we only have 11 seconds left on the game clock, he's going to take his chances. So, SIM unable to close that gap. And can you thinking about it? Do we continue? Do we not? Dribbles it out. Even as SUSS, a voice from that side was going 1D, 1D. Well, there are 0 Ds left, and SUSS have taken the game with a 5-point lead, 63 to 58. As the NTU players are filing onto the court now, we hope to see you in our next game, which will be a matchup against traditional rivals, the home team, NUS, against NTU.
The last game he never played.
Here, with Kai-Shin for our men's final for SUniG 2025. So Kai-Shin, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So, what have been the biggest motivation for your team throughout the whole season?
Our biggest motivation for us actually would be for our year 4 seniors, because this will be their final season with us.
Okay.
And we definitely hope to be able to at least get us to a good results lah. Yeah, because we are trying to reward them for their guidance and help throughout the years.
Right. So actually, what do you see as your team's biggest strength in going through this matchup with NUS?
The biggest strength that we have definitely is our size.
Okay.
We have 4 big men, and our centers really can play basketball.
Okay.
So right now, I'm thinking that we definitely have the size advantage over NTU, but whether we are able to use it is another question.
Right. So of course, last but not least, what have you actually learned, from playing each other earlier in the season where you were applied today?
During the group stage, we lost quite badly, but that is because after that we learned how to trust each other more. We felt like the problem that arose during the game was because we didn't trust our teammates enough. There was a lot of individual ball, not so much ball movement, and hence we'll try to improve on that.
Right. Just additional question to you. Okay, since both NTU and NUS, technically you guys are qualified for the IVP itself. So is there anything you all look forward to this matchup? Is it still going to do your best, try to win the SUniG, or is it going to be like learning about NUS, and see what can you improve? Because IVP will be actually the biggest stage, right?
For us, it's definitely both.
Okay.
Right. We are definitely trying to win SUniG because I think it's been quite a while since NUS won. So we definitely want to try to bring back a championship. But at the same time, we also want to learn more about our possible opponents in IVP. And NTU has always been a very strong team.
Right.
So it'll be great to know what they can do.
Alright. Hey, thank you. So wish you all the best later. Okay, so right now we are with the team NTU over here, and this is Sean, and this is Kai. So Sean, how do you feel you're heading into the finals for today?
I would say we're pretty psyched and excited, yet nervous at the same time. I mean, it's the finals, everyone's all waiting for this moment, trying to shine and do their best to get the championship. So I think there's a lot of mixed emotions going on, right? What do you think, Kai?
I'm just ready, man.
I like that.
Yeah, so being in the finals, right? I think this is not the first time NTU has always been in the finals. But how do you and your teammates keep your composure while you're, are you in it's relaxed, or are you in, to chill? I would say.
We're definitely here for blood. We're not settling for second place for sure. We've been here before, I would say, and I think everyone's ready for this moment. And yeah, we're just gonna give our all and make sure we play our hardest.
Okay, then the last but not least, since NTU and NUS have technically you already qualified for the IVP, so how does this affect your mindset for today's game?
You gonna say it?
I think whether we qualify for IVP or not doesn't really matter. I think at the end of the day, whenever we have a game together as a team, we're just gonna give our all, whether IVP or SUniG. So yeah, that's our mentality from here.
Right. So are you all looking forward to take back the championship, or it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be a hard fight?
We're definitely here for the championship, man.
Alright. Okay, so that's it. So stay tuned to our finals for the SUniG 2025. Okay, together with NTU versus NUS. We'll see you right back.
basketball fans. We're back for the second game of the evening. The matchup between traditional rivals NUS and NTU. This is the men's final game for the Singapore University Games 2025. The arena has kind of filled in a little bit more, but surprisingly not as much as it was during the semi-finals game, which happened earlier this week. I think on that day there was a double bill and both the men's and women's team were playing. I'd like to think that maybe the women's game drew more of a crowd than today's game. Because on Monday we had the spectators all lined up, they had clappers, they had t-shirts, they were all dressed in the Team NUS orange t-shirts. We still have a few of those today, but not quite the same numbers as we saw on Monday. Two teams are getting ready. Let's see who our starters are. For NTU, looks like Carl will do the jump ball. We have Wu Shunzhen, 45, stepped out. We have number 8, the vice captain, Tan Cheng San. And who else do we have? Nicholas, number 6. And number 20, Han Minghui from Tagawa. Meanwhile, from NUS, we had Yun Kai who did the tip match. Number 8, Ethan Ong. 24, Zhou Yuan. NTU bench is a bit hyped. We also have Atu, number 7 for NUS. And the playmaker today, number 17, Wang Yuxi. Different starting lineup from the semi-finals game. Zhou Yuan gives it to big man. Finds a cutting teammate, but NTU on a break. Fine with crowded 3-on-2. Corner shooter. Not quite. Yun Kai with the rebound. Goes to Zhou Yuan. Wang Yuxi. The NTU bench is quite vocal. And they were hyped that they were able to draw a foul. So, point the gap paint. Number 20. Turns as he goes for a layup, doesn't make it. Zhou Yuan. Ball to number 17, Wang Yuxi. Hands it out. 3-point shot. It's long. Yun Kai. Those long arms did not manage to secure that rebound, and NTU sets up play. Dix it out for a baseline jumper to Carl, who makes the shot. That was a pass that was dangerously close to the half-court line. Kick it out to Zhou Yuan. Screen from Yun Kai. Loses the handle. Corner 3 is good. He's got a tiniest celebration right there. But a little bit subdued. Just in case, for those of you who are in here. Ooh, wonderful spin move from Carl. Backs the defender down and goes very decisively to the basket. NTU bench is very approving of that move. So defender taps the ball back across half court, but still in US possession. Another offensive foul. Moving screen called on Atif, number 7. That is his first personal foul. DC comes out. And Atif also comes out. Number 11, Ao Yong San Mao. This is first minutes of the game. NTU. Drives to the basket. Kick out. Carl for 3. Cash. Bit of a jubilant run back there. But as I was mentioning before, for those of you, I don't know if you saw the semifinals game, but there was a 3-point shot celebration that was given a technical foul. And that was Piyun Kai late in the game where he already had 4. So just wondering if, I guess the NTU players weren't aware of that. And there's different refs anyway. So, Ao Yong San Mao, screen, rolls back, teammate, Zillion takes the shot, doesn't make it. NTU possession. Pace is a little bit quicker than the first game, which is good to see. That was Shinta at the elbow. No options. Piyun Kai making use of that wingspan, taps the ball out. Ooh, that pass is a little bit short and almost loses it, but good hustle there. Well, he almost got it back. Perhaps just a little bit sloppy with that deflection, and the ref is the Shane decides that is a foul. So number 8, the vice captain, Cheng Shan, makes both his free throws. NTU in the lead. Darren Ng coming in, adjusting his pants on the way in. As Daniel, number 6, goes to the bench. Rest. NTU putting a bit of pressure on the ball. And 3-point attempt from number 20, Zachary. Looked like it was deflected. But his teammate, Chan Yen-chun, is fouled on the way to the basket after he secures the offensive rebound. First free throw is good. Coach Ming-kun from NTU filling some instructions out to his players. Sunja giving the ball to Min-hui. With this little gap, it was a good pass, and the finish looked pretty solid, but it just rolls out of the rim. And I think that's Yen-chun running above options. Piyun Kai, first 3-point attempt of the day is good. It's running back very conservatively. No celebrations after Monday's technical foul. And meanwhile, NTU turning the ball over. Well, didn't quite turn the ball over. Lost the handle and managed to get it to his teammate, who, instead of making the floater, got a wedgie. So, number 8, Cheng Shan, with a mid-range jumper that bounces out. Ding Ziyuan to Yen-chun. for options, but that's good defense. Cutting off his lane by Pan Minghui. SUniG extends his elbow a little bit, but the refs don't call it. He manages to keep his balance enough to finish that layup. Gets an N1. And we go to the line. We have a couple of substitutions for NTU here as Kaiman, number 14, comes on. As is Lim Jingjie, the captain, wearing the number 1 jersey. SUniG does not make his free throws. Jingjie gets the ball, pushes the pace. Number 14 tries to drive in, but is rolled up by SUniG. Meanwhile, Darren Lim, better attempt getting to the basket, but not quite the angle where he can finish. Manages to throw a foul. Jeremy Chu comes on for the vice captain Cheng Shan. As Darren Lim misses his first free throw. Coach right now, Jeremy to get back on D. As we have on 20 Zachary for NUS. SUniG comes up for a very high screen. Zachary takes a shot. Aoyong Samao with rebound. They give it to Zachary. Zachary finds the gap. Nope, picks it out. Tinsuyen. Shot doesn't fall. Bit of a hustle for the rebound, and they call the foul on Aoyong Samao. He looks rather dismayed. Felt like he was in good position, but no, it's his first personnel foul. Matthew George, number 3, subs in for Jing Ziyuan. Carl makes his free throw. That breaks the tie, I believe. And should put NTU in the lead. Aoyong Samao gets the ball. Didn't have any options because teammates weren't quite back yet. Zachary finds the lane. Blocking foul on NTU. At this point, Coach Gongqing from NUS calls for a timeout. Three minutes left of the first quarter. More spectators just filing into the arena right now. Unfortunately, the seating capacity is not great in this arena, so there is room for more spectators, but you'd have to be willing to squeeze. Although the spectators are a little bit subdued at this moment. It's hard to say if they are spectators for the home team or for the visiting NTU team. And yes, Zachary spoke to Matthew George. Loses it, gives it to Aoyong Samao. Active hands from Eun Kaiman from NTU. puts it out of bounds. Matthew George is subbed out. Kim So-yeon is back in. SUniG puts up a rush 3 in order to beat the shot clock. It's a pretty good shot, a little bit long there. Hits the back of the rim, falls out. And Captain tries to drive in, but beats much taller players on the basket. Floater is put up by Yen Chung. And Ao Young somehow unable to secure the rebound. He had his hands on it, but so did the player from NTU. Atif has been asked to sub in for Korean Thai. And on the NTU side, we also have a substitution as Ching Chan comes back in. Jing So-yeon, jumper is no good. Captain gets to the basket, but a little bit too deep, unable to finish. And NUS that time a little bit careless with the ball. Quickly turn it over. It is now NTU possession again. Jeremy looking for options, asking for a screen, but didn't get it. Carl giving the ball to Kaiman. And right where we could hear the NUS bench going, no shot, no shot, Jeremy Chu sinks a 3 for NTU. Zachary gives it to Ao Young Sama, who was in good position, but dribbles the ball out of bounds. He claims it came off the foot of the NTU player, but Brad doesn't think so. Jeremy cuts. Carl is left open at the top of the key. Hyman manages to squeeze past his defender, but doesn't quite get a good angle for a finish. A little bit too far from the rim as well. Jing So-yeon finally getting one to fall. He's made a number of shot attempts today. Finds the stroke with that 3-point shot from the corner. Carl posting up. Bully ball, nope. Sent to kick it out. 3-point shot. Good arc, but Carl gives it back to him. Decides not to make another 3. Oh, he does now. And gets a friendly bounce. Jeremy Chu. Yen Chen directing traffic. Ao Young Sam now fighting hard for position. And his teammate thought he was going to drive in and be able to dish it to him under the basket, but that did not go according to plan. It is now NUS ball. Jeremy looking to inbound the ball to Minghui. Minghui dangerously close to the half-court line. And as the clock expires, Atif fouls the shooter, Cheng Shan. And as the rest of the players leave the court, according to action on the ground, there's still time on the clock. So, Cheng Shan will not be making his free throws alone. The rest of the players foul back into the court. Makes his first. on the second. NUS with the rebound. Well, there's a long toss across the court as the clock expires. Doesn't go anywhere in the room. Now we have more spectators filing in, and I wonder if perhaps they're not as involved, or you don't sense attention because from where most of the spectators are seeing, they can't actually see the score, which is 20 to NTU and 14 to NUS. So we have a 6-point gap. There's a little hop and a skip there, which, you know, looks suspiciously like a travel, but the rest weren't calling it. Cheng Shan fired a 3-point shot from the top of the key. Goes out of bounds, and it will be NUS ball. Things are in to Yan Cheng. Somehow posting up, so he can spin. No, he decides to squeeze through. Doesn't get the shot to fall. NTU doesn't have the numbers. So let's see what they choose to do. Ming Hui. The 3 is a little bit too hard. And Hyman tried to muscle his way in. But wisely kicks it out to the vice captain G. Parked in the corner, but his back is facing the rim, so he will not be trying 3-pointer. They find it to Ayong somehow. Hard-working big man. Gives it out to Ethan Ong, who puts up a forced shot from the 3-point line, and it is really short, so NTU ball now. A little space in the paint, but no one really can it in. Acrobatic finish. Wows the crowd, literally, as they open their mouth and say wow to that finish. From Ayong somehow kicks it out to Ethan Ong. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is good. Shan out to Kaiman to Hunting, who is seeing the first minutes of his game. Kaiman, nope, not. NTU managed to get a second chance with the offensive board. Pull-up jumper from Cheng Chan. Doesn't fall but draws the foul. Daniel and Carl getting ready to come back in for Kaiman and Jeremy Chu. Meanwhile, on the NUS side, Long DC. Number 17. Takes it. Doesn't get his free throw to fall. Gets a couple of pats on the butt from Daniel. So, NUS bench coming a lot more vocal. They have both their bigs on the floor. Form of Pyun Kai and Ao Yong San now. Chen Chan gets that pass from his teammate. Gets a little short jumper, that's good. Ding Zeyuan decides to power all the way to the rim. Now that ball looks suspiciously like it was tapped by people whose feet were on the line. Pyun Kai, second block of the game. Tallest player on the floor. Probably, wide wingspan, making full use of it. Thinking of, can't decide whether to post up or to set up a screen. Ao Yong San though, set the screen, but the spacing wasn't great on that screen, so he asked for a sub. Pointing to his left hand, which is taped up. So as Ao Yong San comes out, Archive steps in the court, along with Zachary Dunn. Inquiry to Carl. Bit of a bully ball there. Going to the rim strong. Gets an N1 and a few shots of approval from that side of the arena. Not sure whether it's coming from the bench or a spectator. Ethan Ong from NUS number 8 gets break. Carl makes his free throw. Zachary on playmaking duties. Gives it to Ding Zeyuan. Hands it to Archive. Pyun Kai posting up, but doesn't get the ball and gets boxed out. Into Chen Chan cuts hard. Meanwhile, and that's Daniel. Number 6, that's called for travel. Picking up his foot a little bit prematurely on the way to the basket. Zachary. Archive fighting for position at the high post. Meanwhile, I was going to say Pyun Kai was kind of open on the low block, but by the time they found him, so did his defender. That ball was knocked out of his hands. Still NUS possession though, but with 10 seconds left in the game, Pyun Kai exhibition of footwork there, but doesn't quite get to convert. They swing the ball around the perimeter, and Daniel, nice drive to the baseline, finds Carl waiting in the middle of the paint. Light touch there, gives him 2 points on the board. NTU been very effective with scoring with a 15-point lead. Let's see if Archive is unable to convert. Shot left. They've earned themselves possession. With a foul call on the ground. Zachary drives, kicks, swings. Nope, decides not to take a three, but instead, Andre Lim banks in the shot. On the free throw line, sets up the defense. SUniG against SUniG. Carl is left open, decides not to take the three. They swing it to the other side. There is a substitution for NTU as Darren comes back on for Danny. Carl, turn around, soft touch, big man move, another 2 points. Seems like they're getting a lot more paint points than NUS are getting. SUniG with the handoff at the top of the key. Is he going to take a three? He does, but it's short this time. Didn't quite get enough momentum that time. So they set up. SUniG matched up against SUniG and Zachary cutting off the driving lane effectively. And can he get the loose ball? Yes, he does. But there are 3 NTU players waiting already. SUniG uses his length to go around the defender. Layup. So, ping shot. Chengshan gets a loose ball, kicks it across. That was falling out of bounds and puts up the shot. It nearly goes in. Now, a couple of substitutions. As Kaimon comes back in for NTU. And Darren's free throw. And some cheers of approval from the crowd. Unfortunately, he misses the second one. Oh Young-san now fighting hard for position, so they've got the 2 bigs now. Posting up, but they don't get the ball. SUniG, ooh, gets blocked by the shorter SUniG. Bit of a some disbelief there, and SUniG faces up again. SUniG puts up a high arcing three. It doesn't fall. Coach Minkun facing the sidelines, telling his players it's okay, it's okay. And NUS have been able to execute their plays. As Yancheng, pulls up for a baseline jumper. So I think Andre Lim was probably trying to get the charge, but was called for a blocking foul instead. SUniG heads to the bench for some rest, and we have Professor coming in for the first time today. Wonder if he's coming back from an injury, because Chester also was not on the floor in the semifinals. Chester, who has competed in FIBA 3x3 events, hails from Malaysia. Yancheng, Thought about driving, but pulls up at the free throw line instead. Aoyong Samao wanted to kick it out. Decides to go to the basket instead. Is met with a lot of resistance from two players. But it was worth the effort because now got 2 shots at the line. Coach Min-kun has been on his feet for most of the game, while Coach Xu, his usual relaxed posture on the sidelines. NTU, full speed ahead, just a little bit short with that layup. They give the ball to the big man to bring up. Thinks about it, slow-mo layup. Doesn't quite get paid, got the rebound. Got the offensive rebound twice, in fact. Gives it to Ding Zeyuan. Puts up a shot, which I suspect was a little bit deflected by the defender. Matthew George tries to pass it across, but not quite enough force there. And we had Sean Lee with the layup there. Didn't quite get it, but he's feisty. He's fighting for a loose ball. Good hustle there. And they trap Matthew George into traveling with the ball. So Sean Lee earlier, even though it fallen onto the ground after the layup, was hustling for the loose ball while still being on the ground. Ethan Ong checks in for Ding Zeyuan. Jie, the captain, goes to Darren, to Sean. They're swinging the ball around, can't find any options inside. Ding manages to squeeze in, but a little bit too low, and as he puts up the shot, the ball meets the backboard. He's bailed out though by the foul, which the referees have attributed to number 83, Chester. Cheering for Pinto, who makes both his free throws. Bringing the ball up and starting the play off. Number 45 Pamtria. On the floor now, loose ball. Ethan Ong corrals it but doesn't get it to fall. That's okay though. Chester gets it back. Can't put it in the basket, but pulls the foul. And goes to the line. Not much time left on the game clock for this quarter. Let's see what NUS can do with this 16-point deficit. 18-point deficit. Screen is not updating. Will it be 17? It will not. 3, 2, 1. Is he going to get the shot off on time? It does, but it's short. Aoyong Samao did get the rebound, but chose not to launch it because the whistle had already gone. And let's see if NUS are able to turn the tables when we come back from the break.
But like in another video, it's like
Welcome back, everyone. The clock is counting down to the start of the second half. This is the SUniG finals. Men's basketball, where we see the clash between National University of Singapore, the home team, and their traditional rivals, NTU, Nanyang Technological University, who are up with a sizable lead at the moment, as you can see. Largely thanks to better field goal percentage. You can see the stats on the screen. And start of the second half. Aoyong Samal picks up Yun Kai, puts up a three, doesn't get it. Second opportunity. The two bigs for NUS making an impact this possession so far. Still can't get the ball to fall. NTU managed to get the ball across the court very quickly to Daniel, number 6, who goes up for a layup. Yun Kai posting up, low post. He'd almost got into position, but that pass was a little bit early from Ethan Ong. Wasn't quite ready yet after he was turning around. And Sunja from NTU is making him work hard to get in position. Meanwhile, Cheng Chan draws the foul with that mid-range shot. He almost baits for that foul. And he goes to the line. Chen Chen for NUS is back on the court. Along with number 45, two bigs, and number 24, Tinzo. NTU have Paul back on the floor, Tinzo, Pan Ming Hui, number 20, Daniel, number 6. And Cheng Shan, the vice captain. Pang Jian gets it to the fall. Latif on the sidelines for NUS is encouraging his teammates on. Oh, they missed the cutter, but luckily for NUS, the cutter misses his layups. Meanwhile, Daniel is called for a blocking foul and is promptly subbed out for Jeremy Chu, number 10, who matches up with Yan Cheng from NUS. Trying to back him down. Yun Kai goes up for a screen, but doesn't quite happen. They kind of miss each other. But he does come away with a loose ball. Kicks it out. That 3-point attempt is short. Long pass ahead to Ming Hui, who is fouled by Trian. Feels that he had no choice but to foul him in order to stop that pass break. A little bit hesitant when that long pass was being made. Not sure when to go for it. or whether to go for it. Minghui makes his free throw and picks up the dribbler full court, and Incheon decides to go coast to coast. Perhaps discouraging him to pick him up full court again. Let's see what happens in the next possession. Jingshan dancing around at the top of the key. Sends it out to 3-point line. No, SUniG gets the loose ball. Set up again. 20, Minghui. That was a good pass. He was in a good position, but that time Jeremy Chu was not ready. And the ball slips through his hand. Kai, good post up. Calls for the ball, but Ding Ziyuan, that pass was a little bit long. He saw that he had the mismatch on him, and the defender was out of place. Fortunately, his guard was not able to make use of the opportunity. And now Carl takes a look. Great cut from Jingshan, but doesn't finish. Ding Ziyuan looking to push the pace. They don't have numbers, so they settle for a set play. Kai thought about going to the rim. Passes out and sets a good screen for his teammate who doesn't finish. And NTU gets 2 points from the putback from the trailer. They're widening the gap now, 20 points. And Kai is driving across the court. Substitution now, Chester comes in, as does Wang Yusi. Rotation today is somewhat different from what we saw in the semifinals. With that elbow shot, doesn't go. He passes across. Referee calls on number 20. It was kind of a mysterious call. Not sure what that call was about. You can see his hand gestures clearly. But in either case, Carl taking a break, and Taiman comes back in. Just jostling for position. With Aoyong Samao. Decides to use his speed. Puts it out. Jingshan. Lefty mid-range shot. The idea was there. Aoyong Samao was leaking ahead to try and get an easy basket, but the pass was just short. And Taiman squeezes past his defender. Foul on the floor. Hustling for position. Jie waves his coach in acknowledgement that he made a mistake on that last play. In that press, he's not less aggressive this time. Chester tries to bounce the ball off the opponent as he's falling out of bounds, but he misses, and Interview is able to set up. Now, I think it's hunting number 33, goes for shot. Volleyball block, taps the ball far out. Jingshan, baseline, out to hunting number 33. For a long three-pointer. Ethan Long thought about taking that long three, but decided against it. They swing it across. Matthew George unable to get past his defender. Leaves it to Aoyong Samao, who's going to muscle it. Nope, he doesn't. He hands it to Chester instead. The elbow shot is short, and Chester a little bit indecisive with that loose ball, and so it gets deflected. Meanwhile, Coach Yu decides that Mao Young San Mao needs a bit of a break. Yu Kai comes back in. Chester being subbed by Zachary. And on the NTU side, Daniel comes in for Ching Chang. Into the line. It's a very long time to set up a shot, and a little bit too hard. Opens up his shoulders. Let's see if he can make it this time. The adjustment is successful. It's not a swish, but hey, point is a point. Down the ball. It's Carl. Spin move. It's a little bit too far away from his opponent that time when he was spinning, so doesn't quite find the spot that he wants to after spinning. Zachary. Hyun Kai has given up trying to post up and decided to move out the way for his teammate to drive in. Carl. Giving to Han Ting. Yun Jie. Directing traffic. Carl. Thinks about it, gives to Han Ting. Made the first swing. Tried to see if he could repeat the success of the previous attempt. Does not. NTU picking up full court and NUS calling for help. Active setting by, but Zachary decides to try and take on the defender himself. They get it to the shooter, puts up a wild shot, but he gets his own rebound and makes up for it. If the three's not going to go, he'll get the two. Jing Jie. Giving it to Carl. Carl thinking about it. Han Ting. Swings it to Daniel. Daniel looking for options along the baseline. Finds an open shooter outside. Jeremy Chu sinks the three. Lots of shouts of approval from the NTU bench and supporters. Zachary takes the contact on the way to the basket. Has a reasonable look, unable to shot the ball. But he might be able to make up for it at the free throw line. Then Chung comes back in. Oh, I think they're in. Zachary, the first shot is solid. As is the second. However, that gap is not getting any smaller between the two teams. NTU hunting. Shimmy going to the basket but misses it, and his teammate Darren also misses the rim entirely on his way to the basket. NTU not letting up with calls for defense, hustle and defense. Perhaps that pressure is affecting English ability to score. Zachary gets a second chance, makes the best of it. upgrades his 2-pointer to a 3. Jeremy hunting to Daniel. Daniel thinks about it. Kicks it out. And Colvin toe that time. Unable to get the shot to go in. Let's see. SUniG. The 3-point doesn't fall, but it's a good rebound from Ethan Ong, a turnaround, but just an awkward angle. So, Hansen waits for his teammates to come back now. And man with the mask. Darren Lynn puts up a shot, but he's unable to convert. About a minute left in this quarter. And the score has pulled away now. 26-point lead for NTU. Zachary thought about pushing ahead. Does not screen set from SUniG. Doesn't roll quite on time. Does get the basket this time, but doesn't get the offensive rebound. Atif. Just to deter the fast break. And that was a big defensive rebound. What are the options here? Atif looking to pass inside, but cutting lanes are not filled. Zachary with a 3-point attempt that is way short. Not sure what he should have done in that situation, but his teammates are going 1D, asking them to just get a stop. Let's try and stop the bleeding at this point. Well, you've got to get defensive rebound if you can. That's the first step. They don't. And Colvin Toe manages to get a pretty turnaround jump shot to fall right at the buzzer. So NUS have the final quarter to try and make a dent in this game. So the question is, do the standings of today affect how the teams go in IVP? That's actually a general question. I'm just wondering, in terms of the sense of urgency, I guess the scoring efficiency from NUS has not been great today. It was better during the semifinals. Now, of course, defensive pressure from NTU, I'm sure, is contributing to the lower field goal percentage from NUS. Nonetheless, let's see. If they come back with an answer in this final quarter. Let's see if there's more defensive pressure from NUS right now. For the moment, looks like it. Let's see if they can come away with the loose ball. The pressure is definitely there, but they haven't been able to convert it. But Yencheng finds SUniG. Oh, a little bit optimistic, turning around, not taking enough time to kind of see where he was. And it's quite unfortunately that he missed the easy layup. But luckily, NTU bailed them out with a turnover of their own. Yencheng asking for a screen. Yuntai hands it over to Ayong Samok. Thought about shooting it, deciding that perhaps it's a higher percentage going to the basket, but and his logic in a rather inconvenient place. But the ref managed to put the ball in the basket on its first attempt, and I think that play has received the most applause from the spectators here out of pretty much all the plays in the second half, maybe. Daniel ends it up to Hunting, kicks it out. Baseline shot from Coleman. Did not make it, but looked good, but not there. And NTU suddenly are unable to put the ball in the basket. And that under basket looked to be good too, but just did not fall. And eventually they draw a foul, which has been called on Yuntai. Let's see. It's only the second foul. He gets a break. Sits down on the bench with the coach. That's getting some feedback from the coach. Daniel with a spin move. Finds the right angle for the board. Teammates are impressed with that move. Ayong Samok thought about going up for the screen. Still wondering whether to screen or not. It's a rather hesitant screen. It's a little too far away from the defender. So that play goes nowhere. The quality of some of these screens haven't been great because the players are a little bit hesitant. Now Yencheng putting some defensive pressure on. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a scuffle off the ball. The referee calls a foul. On number 21, is it? No. Now who was Coleman scuffled with? Whoever that was got called for a foul, and based on the gesture that the referee was doing, seemed to have hooked his arm or some sort. Hunting for another three, doesn't make it. Yencheng tries to get ahead, finds himself in the corner. Oh! Atif had leaked in on the basket, and they were anticipating an easy basket that time, but Ayong Samok a little bit too naive for this pass. Now, in the meantime, we have a player down on the floor on the other side at the baseline. And he's being tended to by the medic. Not quite sure. Seems to have fallen. Perhaps a bit of a slippery patch there, and Colvin is being helped off. Or having laid down on that baseline area for quite a while, as Zachary puts in a left hand layup. That should be a slippery patch right there on the baseline on this side. But no one has actually wiped. Carl, handoff, and sets a better quality screen, rolls, and gets the basket. Little two-man game there. Between, I think, Jeremy was and Carl. Hunting active. Zachary finds a gap. That angle and that release did not produce the results he was hoping for. And Sean Lee checks in as Daniel checks out. So, Hunting yelling out the play, find Sean, and sure enough, Sean curls out for a shot. Well, finding Sean worked, didn't it? So, Hunting pointing at Sean. Just indicating that he's called it active. Wow, it's called for the offensive foul as he was spinning around trying to find a gap. Things are not going well for NUS at this point. As the NTU lead has ballooned to 33. So, is finding Sean gonna get the results again? Yes, it does. Sean finds the basket. Now, NUS still struggling to score. They've left Ao Yong somehow kind of out on an island on his own. But he's a little bit hesitant to take on Carl. Calls Ativ, whose indecision leads to a turnover. So, looking at this list today, I was trying to figure out what was different with the roster today, and we are missing Ang Zi Ho from NUS, who was a big difference maker in their win against SIM earlier this week. Sean out to Sunja. Sean again. Maybe 3 in a row. No. Sends it out to Sunja, and they run out of shot clock. NTU is still choosing to pick up full court. Not very intense, though. I mean, he's just there. Sean is just there, expending some energy, slowing the ball down as it goes towards the basket. Chester hesitates. Hands it to Yeon-Chun again. John, contested layup. Doesn't make it. They send the ball straight ahead. Yeon-Chun. A little bit off balance, but manages to find a good angle on the board. Gets the 2 points. Feed it to the low post. Carl jabs. That's about it. Decides to kick it out. Sean for 3. Nope. It's off to the side. Chester. Not capitalizing on the transition. They take their time. And Andre Lim finds Atif at the top of the key. Andre has enough space. Turnaround jumper. Very good. Matthew George from the free throw line. It's short. Atif out to Andre Lim. Gets a 3. Receiving some applause from some NUS supporters. That's something that they've been looking forward to. Carl. Solid inside footwork. Turn around. Gets an N1. Somehow not going all the way to the bench. Running to the officials table before he checks in. So Carl completes the three-point play. He's had a few tonight. And Ali somehow, once again, gets some dribbling duties. Matthew George. Pull up. Off the dribble. Looks like a nice rhythm shot. He's probably practiced that. Gets approval from the spectators. Sean. Pass it inside to Finza. Guarded by Chester. Corner three. Cash. So let's see. Matthew. Chester deciding not to try and muscle in on Carl and takes the elbow shot instead. It's pretty solid. Meanwhile, Sean not wanting to take any chances, and Carl unusually gets sandwiched under the basket and is unable to muscle his way through. Meanwhile, Yan Chen tries to repeat that off-balance layup that he did a few minutes ago. Doesn't get it again. Carl sandwiched once again, but manages to squeeze through this time. Gets the basket. Yan Chen is good to his teammates to set up. Picks the dribble up a little bit too early. Matthew George comes to bail him out, but is unable to get past Sean, who is a feisty defender. Matthew George got the offensive rebound but was stripped by NTU players, with 3 of them on him. Leading in the basket, swing the ball quickly to the corner, and Sean being quite a bit of a spark, scoring a number of baskets in the 4th quarter. Wang Yixi gets into the game and takes over the duty of setting up the play. Let's see if they can get the 3-point to fall. They do not. Andre Lim has to run back on defense. Let's see. Nope, the sweep is not to be. Chester. Who we see not quite pushing the pace. He doesn't really see any options. Matthew George was way short. Didn't look like he'd set his feet properly. Sean passing into the cutter, but he changed their mind and reset. Junta is back up to Sean. They wait for Carl to roll around to the high post. And unable to secure the loose ball. Goes to NUS. As we're winding down with 2 more possessions to go. 32-point lead. Yeah, I think the difference between today and the semifinals, the bigs for NTU were unable to kind of make much of an impact on the paint, well, as much as they did in that semifinals game, and perhaps missing Zihao as well for both playmaking and slashing to the basket, which she was quite successful in the semifinals. Shot taken as the shot clock buzzer sounds, but you know, they get back the offensive rebound, and Aoyang somehow makes his final turnaround jumper for the 2025 season of SUniG as NTU walk away with the win. A resounding win, 37-point lead, 35-point, sorry, because that pass baseline jumper counts. And well, thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully we will see continue when these teams make their way to IVP. Yeah.
in a minute. Hey, Belgium is not one. It's not a Christian man. Hannah is one of my friends. Other women. They win an interview. How do you intend to get MVP?
Okay, Ken? Hey, congratulations on the win. So what does this victory mean to you now?
It means a lot to me because this is my first SUniG representing for NTU, so I'm glad that we managed to reclaim the title from last year, and I'm just glad we got it done.
So you have been, I mean, definitely you are the player of the match itself. So what is the turning point for you where you feel like, you know, you get this, you got all the fire, you fire out, you got all the fuel?
As a team, we practiced very hard and we followed the game plan and we executed our plays well, and together we just got everything flowing and got everyone in the game, and that's why we were able to secure the win.
Right, so how will you actually carry this momentum into the IVP? You know, knowing that you guys going to see each other again into the IVP itself?
I think the most important thing is that everyone stays committed and keeps coming training, and we keep the morale high and we stick together. That's the only way that we can bring it towards IVP and get the champs again.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Okay, thanks.